back after a couple of days. Next session will probably be this Saturday, and then the following Tuesday. And we're joined by a returning cast, Wall Hentai, hiding there in the darkness. And we have Joe and Heavy Jesus, back from session 1. So, let's see. Oh yeah, shit, me, of course. Wow, I'm really good at this. Hello, I'm Blage. I'm the GM. I am running this wonderful show, this wonderful game. Everything is amazing. Cough, cough. I suck. How's my 10 days been? Really good. I did quite a bit of D&D prep for this. It's probably going to all be not where the players go, so I'm going to cry into my hat. It'll be very, very fun. But I did a faction turn. That was very exciting. It's very weird. Because we're using the faction system from Stars Without Numbers, and it has spaceships and ninjas, and it's like, how the hell does any of this translate into D&D? But it's fun. So yeah, if you didn't already know that, there's a faction system, and events will unfold in the world. And you'll probably turn up, and everyone will be dead, and you'll be like, oh well. And other than that, been watching Jessica Jones, Marvel show. It's pretty good. Anyone watch that?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, it's good.
Pretty good.
I haven't.
I've heard about it.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I've been watching that, and I've already got I'm up to episode 4, and I've got that. Oh, just one more. It's like, no, don't do it, don't do it. I haven't got enough time. XCOM 2. I've been playing XCOM 2 a lot, and I played it on the hardest difficulty. Cried a lot. Went down a notch. Got quite far, then went, it doesn't feel right. Went back up to that hardest difficulty. Cried a lot. Made some progress. Fucked it up at the last minute. Died. Started again. Cried a lot. It's been a lot of crying. I think I've started about 40 games. And they'll get like 4 or 5 missions in, and all my people are dead. There's just corpses everywhere. It's just like, why? I got shot down by a UFO, and then just wave after wave of aliens attacked me. That was a fun one. It's like, oh look, are you? Oh, I'm dead. But no, it's really good. I'm enjoying XCOM 2 quite a lot, except for the fact it keeps killing me. Also, with that game, when you run up to someone with an assault rifle at point blank and then you miss, it's like, why?
Oh. It says XCOM.
That's XCOM, baby.
Oh, 85% chance of shooting. The problem is, like, the character animation is like, the gun is in the alien's face, and then when it fires, it just points the gun in the air, and you're like, no.
So what you're saying is that the games with random generated numbers are annoying?
Yeah, well, they're annoying when they make me lose. When they make me win, all for that. When an enemy runs up to me point blank and misses, I'm so happy. When I run up to an empty and miss, salty.
Yeah, it's just like, we've taken the top soldiers from every corner of the earth to help defend it and repel the enemy threat. And they're like, yeah, I'm gonna shoot them. And they fucking miss at point blank. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? You had 4 chances and you blundered all of them.
Yeah.
You're fucking worthless. Go home. Go.
No.
There's no home to go home to. The earth is destroyed. You brought this on yourself.
On that point, with we have gathered the very best. They're all rookies. Like, they're all rookies you start with. And,
you should at least you should start with 3 rookies and 1 like grizzled veteran with like 4 scars across his like torso and like 5 across his dick segment, right?
Yeah.
That should be like the level of veteran you should have.
I guess
no.
you can buy veterans, but you have to like pay them. Also, what's with the recruiting
Can
thing?
You have
to pay them.
Scars?
You have to. yeah, they're an upgrade, optional upgrade. You buy them from the black market. You go to the surgeon and he does a special operation. But no.
Right.
Oh, I lost my train of thought completely. No,
just go on.
It's the we're the last humanity has. Every mission is important, but we can only ever deploy 4 people at a time.
Yeah.
Why? They don't even give a reason for why you can only deploy 4 people, or why, when you later upgrade the ability to deploy more, how that happens. Like, have you ever played Xenonauts?
Yeah, I have.
I haven't. I've just seen that it was XCOM, but with a cartoon person on it.
Yeah, it's like XCOM. It's like really like XCOM. bit more micromanagement. Has some fun things. It has like an air-to-air combat, like little 2D. When you shoot down the UFOs, it's amazing. But in that game, you can upgrade your ship that transports things. Your shuttle, essentially. And it gives you, okay, you can only have this many people because you've only got this shuttle. Oh, you've upgraded your shuttle. Have more people. Oh, you've upgraded your shuttle again. Have more people. And it makes sense. And then you get XCOM and it's just like, your squad is upgraded by 1 because you paid.
And you have like 20 people, right? You have like 20 people who are like ready to serve. And only 4 of them ever go outside to like whip out their pistols and just go poo-poo.
And miss, just everywhere.
Yeah.
The random number
in any
generating
case,
gets me.
This is dungeon control. Oh, I tried to say Dungeons and Dragons and I failed.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I noticed.
Speaking of RPGs, been back on the
We're playing Dungeon Control, guys. Welcome to the stream.
Management game.
I've been back playing Dark Heresy recently. 41st Millennium, Warhammer 40k. Not GMing. I've been playing. It's been good. I'm enjoying that. Did that last weekend and this weekend just now. Okay. Anyway, that's enough about me. The weather's wonderful. I had a lovely sunset on my way home. Wallako, how's it been with you? It's been what, 2 weeks since I saw you last?
No more, I think.
Oh yeah, it's been 2 sessions since I saw you last. It's been like 3 weeks.
Something like that. I've been doing fine. Started college recently. Just got back home. That's why we're late. Sorry, guys. Been playing Firewatch, Danganronpa, and I've been playing also Heavy Jesus campaign as well.
Yes.
Danganronpa. Right, yeah.
No,
I suppose
Firewatch
that translates to me as the next person. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Supposed to be
I mean,
explaining
unless you
their
have
off
some
time.
more to say, okay. But
No, I don't have anything more to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Heavy. How's
I've
it going?
created my own universe, and I call it the Minge Bag Circle. Now, the people in the Minge Bag Circle are all of the people who are in the stream except for Blaze Edge, because he's not a Minge Bag. At least not yet. Also, my game's full. I'm sorry, I can't have you. But yeah, it's been fun. Currently, my team is battling 4chan, as we've dubbed it. It's just a bunch of frogs. They're clogging up the highways, destroying people with wooden spears and shitty shields. But they do have large tongues, which takes away all my team's weapons, which is very hilarious when I roll the dice to see whether or not they get their stuff back. I hope they are damaged permanently. I don't think they are, but psychological damage stacks up over time. So I'm playing the long game, and that's what I've been up to these 5 weeks.
Okay. Speaking of psychological damage, is a good segue for Hentai. How are you doing there? What have you been up to last week?
I've had a vacation recently, so I've been masturbating a lot.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Has there been some tentacles involved
That's a
with this?
good free time activity.
There's always tentacles involved.
I see. Praying to your patron,
Would you-
I assume.
Yes,
by the way, I'm
I
putting up an
masturbate
auction
while
for
playing,
5
by
tentacles.
praying to my fictional patron.
Well, doesn't everyone?
Yeah, good point.
So yeah, this will be your 3rd game.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it, and not dying horribly.
Is it 3rd in a row? Because he had 2 in a row, didn't he? Or is this?
No, he was in the last session, but he wasn't. Oh my, no.
No,
that was the last session.
No, not two. He was in the 2nd session.
No.
In the 4th session.
Oh yeah, it was in
No,
the,
in the 5th
it was in the 2nd, and then he had one recently, and then he
Yeah.
had this one now.
Yeah. Was
Because
like,
I remember
oh,
I'm like,
wow. Whew.
he's been having a lot of fun lately, and I don't think that's legal.
it's not legal to have fun.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
Alright.
not in my world.
Good
Taking
watching
over
the
the
wife.
I'm just waiting for you to introduce Carson again, the same way you did last time, because it cracked
I
me up.
hope the joke lasts.
Okay, so you doing anything interesting? Playing any good games?
I've been playing more Warband, in which I recently lost a fight, and half my army is dead and hates me. That's about it.
Okay, well, moving away from this sorry tale. Joe, what you been up to? It's been
It's only been a week.
1 week, less?
1 week. Yes.
Yeah, a week. You were
Yeah,
just here.
No, Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm back at work now. I'm no longer in half term, so I have to work. Oh dear, what a shame.
Oh,
It's all right though. I don't
Oh.
mind.
remind me what it was. It was teaching?
Earn wages.
Teaching assistant. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, because Mari's the teacher and you're the assistant. Okay, you're Mari's assistant.
Yeah. Games wise, I've been playing a couple. Nothing too special. I've been playing board games. I played the Descent with a girlfriend, which is pretty much like a dungeon crawl game. Very much like a D&D, but a D&D light, basically, where you just romp through a dungeon. But there's an interesting mechanic where the GM is called the Overlord, and they're actively trying to kill you. The game's sort of set up in a balanced way where it's set to be like that, so it's all good. They get like evil Overlord cards that they throw down at you and make bad shit happen all the time. It's good. I would recommend it. And I've also got coming in the post this Saturday Zombicide Black Plague, which I love Zombicide. I don't know if any of you have played it.
It sounds familiar, but I don't think I have.
I've got like hundreds of boxes behind me. One of them is, well, 4 of them are Zombicide.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that like a dozen games stacked on top of each other just
I
behind you
have
to show off your collection
lot
in
of
front of
games
me, who
behind
has
me.
like a dinkly old microphone that I don't actually own? It's just here.
Yeah, so I've got a lot of games behind me, and yeah, Zombicide is a zombie apocalypse set in the medieval times, whereas normal Zombicide is set in modern day times. So I'm super stoked to get playing that.
It's that game where you play a bunch of people and you try and get like the gasoline and fuel up the car and drive away. Yeah, I think I watched that on Geek and Sundry.
Yeah.
And that was called The Last Day on Earth.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
There are quite
Different
a lot of zombie games, actually.
Well,
this one I would
played.
I'm Will Wheaton. Welcome to where we'll see if our survivors can survive the last day on Earth. And then he walks off the screen, because that's what Will Wheaton does, and then he rolls like 2. Damn it. Shit. Right. But he doesn't actually say that after he rolls the dice. He does say that mentally, though. You can see it in his eyes.
Just the harsh sorrow when he looks down.
Have you seen when they played Pandemic and they get like 4 Pandemic cards in a row? That was brutal. I felt that. I felt that so bad. It's like,
speaking
we're
of
doing
Pandemic,
so well.
That's a good game.
Oh.
Isn't there like a zombie version of Pandemic?
Probably.
No, I've been playing the game Plague Inc. No, is it Plague Inc?
Yeah. Or
it is Plague Inc, isn't it?
Plague Inc.
Yeah.
Where you try and kill the world as a virus.
You have the zombie virus there. Yeah.
Most of the board games you say I can probably just pull out from behind me.
Oh, I bet he doesn't have Shadow over Camelot.
Oh, you can see that one.
I know. Okay.
But you don't even own an original copy of D&D, you nerd. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
anyway,
look at that one.
Speaking of D&D, I suppose we should play the game, actually.
I don't know, we can just like continue talking.
I mean,
I figured we'll
we
just,
do.
waste another half hour.
I have an entire
I suppose we
anime
could
to show
just
off
have. I suppose we do have the diverse enough cast. I mean, I get that we're all white and that's illegal, but we do have a diverse enough cast to have like a podcast. Should be the white people podcast, and then just put that online and see how many dislikes we get.
Oh dear. Oh, so far I haven't got a big enough viewership to have any dislikes or any likes.
No.
It's just flat neutral. I'm okay with this. I'm pretty sure the only people that are watching at this point are you guys. You're just like, oh, do I look at it from this angle? Okay, so moving on to D&D then. We're travelling to the world of Beyond the Bridge, in which there is a literal bridge which spans a maybe not so literal river. And beyond this, westward, there is the great unknown, filled with ancient civilizations, wandering monsters, and vile reprobates such as Carson Surly. In the small town of Haven is where this adventure will continue from. The city, town, village, the small colony of Haven is just like a small community of buildings. There's a couple of large ones, the manor, the church, the big store, the tavern itself. I'm making such a mess of this. And to the east, beyond the bridge, on the other side, is the Empire. It spans all known territory. It's very dull and big. and there's no adventure to be had over there. Definitely none. You shouldn't go east. It's bad for you. Yeah. So, yeah, we're joining everyone, and I'm totally awake. It's wonderful. Anyway, so we're settling back in with Haven, and if everyone could just introduce their characters, and that means I don't have to talk. It's excellent. So, Waleko, if we could,
Do we
we could
start
start
from the
with you.
left on the list here?
Yeah. Start with Waleko. Travel right.
Okay. So yeah, I'm Refused. I'm a a fighter dwarf. Uh, I've been in Haven for a long time. I've already explained why I was here. I was exiled from my land because I rebelled. What, Jesus? I see you pointing your fingers.
I remember you. We were in the last session, weren't we? You and Brother Lauren, weren't that?
No.
Or was that another dwarf?
Maybe that was
that another
another
dwarf?
dwarf. Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, I think
Shoot.
maybe. Who would that be? I think you're thinking of Rotgar, who's anti-K. Rotgar?
That might be it. Yeah, Rotgar. Yeah, that's right. My bad. I fucked up, Chief.
Shit happens.
That's my voice. Go on before I embarrass myself further.
Yeah. So should I just say what I've been doing in my downtime? Or...
Yeah, we can go into that. So, what have you been up to in your downtime?
So I've been trying to gather some support, mostly just drunken talk on the bar, but probably some people heard me. I don't know.
So you're trying to gather some followers to your cause.
Yeah, I'm trying. Just random ramblings against the Empire. Maybe somebody else doesn't like the Empire.
Maybe
as much
they
as
don't.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe that's why they're here.
So did you do anything heroic the last time you were on screen?
The thing most heroic I did was kill a giant ooze on the cave, but I don't know if that counts.
Oh, I think that was the sulfurous sludge, the big yellow stinky thing.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know. People seem to be a bit doubtful of this tale. There's not really much to back it up. You made some loot, but it's not greatly heroic to have stabbed the yellow blob. People don't know the
Fair
true
enough.
danger that they pose. So if you could just roll a d20, -2, plus your level, plus your charisma modifier, and...
+1.
Yep. Cool. So with a 5, you have netted nothing, I
Nothing.
believe.
Yeah,
5
nobody
is
cares.
no. So I think what happens is, like, a couple of people like ramble about how they hate the Empire too, and they're a bunch of pricks. And what happens is, as they're talking, they just wander off to a bit of the bar and talk amongst themselves, and you just sat at the bar, and you realise that all your audience has left. So
Yeah.
so we can move on to Carson slowly. Please, Carson, introduce yourself.
Alright, I'm playing Warlock, and here's the obligatory description. He is tall and skinny. He has purple eyes. His skin is pale and he has a red goatee, swirled mustache and back slicked hair. Wearing the typical cultic hooded garment with daggers at his sides. One with inscribed alien letters. He is the deceiver of chicken sellers, the preaching stripper, the accidental cock grabber, the shredder of Creermoth, and the insulter of court. The man, the myth, the legend, Carson Foley!
Oh, it's not as funny the second time, I'm afraid, but
I give
Yeah.
you one
accidental
clap.
cock grabber. The accidental cock grabber. I'm sorry, the rest of the titles? That's just the accidental cock grabber. So what have you been doing in the weeks since we last saw Carson?
Well, of course I've been preaching the good word of the Defi.
Okay, and I believe you already have a follower.
Yes, can I make that follower do something?
No,
Fine.
with the downtime max to gather support, you're just gaining people who are listening. Just a follower is just a regular townsfolk who's listening to you and maybe spreading what you say, but he's not really ready to act on your behalf. That comes later when you've like gathered enough people to actually form something and do something with it. At the moment, it's just like if people actually want to build up support, they have to go through this long drawn out process of getting people. But anyway, it does give you one thing. Rather than being at a -2, you're now at only a -1 on the roll. So it's a d20 -1 plus your level plus your charisma.
+5 if he did a heroic deed.
Did you do a heroic deed?
I insulted Kodos, or those freaks, and I shredded some cultists of Kremov.
You insulted Damien, didn't you?
Yes, I insulted him right in his face for giving him that hedonous water.
I don't think people consider it heroic. You managed to not get tossed out of the temple, but you did like run away and then finger his back.
It shows my loyalty.
I don't think I'm going to give you that. Sorry. So a d20 -1 plus your level plus your charisma. Your charisma mod.
Yeah. +4 +2 -1. All right. Please roll well.
22. Okay, people are listening. That's a
Of course they
d4
are.
of followers. So if you would like to roll a d4. Only one. So you managed to get this small crowd. You get this small crowd listening to you, and they're all in the tavern, and they're chatting, and they're talking, and they're listening to you and leaning in as you speak. And then, when the night ends, most of them get up and leave, and you're just left with these two guys that are still hanging on to your every word. You're like, soon. But yeah, so over the like couple of weeks, you manage to get these people, and you start noticing that they're always hanging around and listening to
Of course.
you. Okay. You have to listen to the deaf eye. So,
Yes.
next up would be Joe. Robin, your character.
Robin,
Could you please
yes,
introduce Robin to us?
Robin is a weird little fella, a halfling. He is a little, a very young chap, curly ginger hair. He's always about town now that he's got settled, skipping about in a very merry way. He's always happy no matter the weather, and always waving, and he'd always stop and have a chat with anyone who talks with him. And he's currently in his downtime action, he'll be spending it helping other people around town, and just this is the action gather support. Everyone's gathering support.
So you just want the good people to recognise you as a good fellow.
And yeah, just to spread the word of goodwill. That's it's
Excellent.
as simple as that. Because that's basically what he's all about. He's just about being nice.
Would you like to help me with something?
Is that the
So,
truth?
Yeah, I would argue that I did something heroic last session because
What did
we
you do
completed
last
the
session?
contract to destroy the tree and save the farm.
but that's doing a mission. It's not necessarily something heroic.
Oh.
Did you engage in glorious battle, sword and shield, with a
We
striding
did. We had to
tree?
defeat the minions of like the
Or
were
did you
in the farm.
roll up some oil and detonate a tree? I mean, that's just demolition. Dwarves can do that.
That's the details. The results was we destroyed the tree and
well,
saved the farm.
that's a good point. Tell me the details. How do you describe this tale when asked? How was it passed around the tavern?
The farmer guy, did he actually ever go to town?
He died.
I know he died, but did he go to town before that? Because
No.
I very clearly said to him, make sure you go to town and tell everyone that we achieved this.
No, he never returned to town. You returned to town, you told people. And Templar Damien the Pious went out there to bless the fields and drive away whatever menace was there. And he found Giles dead.
Oh, I know he died, but man, that's
For
still
the
sad.
audience, I think I should probably read a rumor. Templar Damien returned to Haven with Giles's body. Apparently, his heart had given out from grief. He was given a burial beside his wife. Xiaodi has been granted stewardship of the farmstead by his most esteemed grace, and whispers of foul play are fanned by the Templars' reluctance to discuss the farmer's death. Xiaodi's hirelings are having a difficulty with wild beasts emerging from the trees to the east, and the merchant has offered hunting them down for a pretty reward for culling the populace. That's the rumor. So, how do you describe this this tree fight? I still want to know. What's the tale you spin?
Well, I don't lie. I just sort of say to all the folk that I'm helping. Maybe I'm like painting their white picket fence for them, for like an old lady, and I'm telling everyone, oh, these farmers, they needed our help, so we went down. And oh, it was a mess. There's these zombies were walking the field and evil mud spirits, but I slew them good and proper. And the wizard, I forget his name. It was like a long
Caden Moore.
Cadamore, yes, sent his minions and he destroyed the tree in a big fiery explosion. It was amazing.
Well, I don't think that's heroic. You helped out a farmer. The wizard seemed to do all the work. So yeah, if you want to roll a d20, -2 for having no followers, plus
Yeah.
your level, plus your charisma modifier.
All right, that'll do.
Ooh, 20. Is that now? How did I bracket it? Is that
You
a
did bracket it
D4?
at 20. That's D4.
Ooh. I think you're right. You're right. It's D4. Roll up a D4 followers. Can you beat Carson Foley? He's been at this for 2 turns.
Oh,
I would be so sorry.
Oh no. So you
On
get
equal levels.
you get
Only
a
I
couple of
didn't get
locals.
followers.
You get a couple of the locals who are like listening to you and nodding, and they seem to be telling other people that you're a good fellow, and you see one of them like picking up some water for an old lady that's walking from the well, and you think to yourself, I did that. It's good for you. So from the helpful to the heavy, heavy Jesus, what's brother Lauren been up to?
Well, of course, if you remember correctly, Lauren is a 5 foot tall dwarf, very stout, very, very happy, naive fellow who slays evil in the name of good, and whose only mission is to bring joy to people. And he's been mostly working in the tavern. However, he has also been taking this time to console lost souls that have come into the tavern. He's been spending time with them and making them forget their troubles and showing them the wonders of joy. And he also remembers that when he has some alone time, when everyone else left and business died down, he would go outside at night and he would wait for that beautiful black horse that he lost in his first adventure. And he really wanted that horse. He wanted it so much, in fact, that he rolled countless times when it was already decided that the horse was indeed a friend. And here he is again, praying that one day the horse will come back. And that's what
If only
happens.
you knew where the horse had gone to. It must be out there somewhere.
Yeah. In which case, yeah, I'd probably been mostly working or
So,
gathering followers. I guess I had been slightly heroic last time because I did place myself between the wolves. I was the shield and the sword. I would say that's
Unfortunately,
a hero.
simply being in a fight is not a heroic action. You have to be in a heroic fight, a big ordeal, something fancy.
In that case, I'd like to take my change and have my brewing. I would like to use my proficiency with brewing to be awesome at my job, and say that's that.
Okay, if you would like to use hard work, so you survive on strength, talent, or marketable skills, roll a d6 and multiply it by your level, and that's how much gold you get. Or you can get goods such as rations or arrows or crafting materials. If you're using brewing, you could produce 1d6 gold worth of alcohol.
I would
mean,
like
do you
to
want- do you
produce
want your-
alcohol.
You want your pay in booze, got it.
Yeah. Think of the drunk inspiration scene.
So I'm rolling 1d6 booze units.
Yep, 1d6 times your level, which is 1, so yep.
Okay, that's a good amount of booze. I'll take that booze.
What you got there? You got 4.
4.
4. Is there
All
some
boots.
measure? Like 2 silver is a gallon of ale. Wine is like 2 silver for a pitcher, or 10 gold for a fine bottle. So, what are you looking for here? I'm assuming ale, since you're producing with brewery.
let's see, what would be like a fine ale, like a honey mead? Oh yeah, that's right. I had that like honey mead that I came across in our travels. I was like, oh, what is that? That's good. That's rich. So I'd like a big old cask of that shit that I
Okay.
can have with me
So
on my travels.
Let's say that's 5 silver for a gallon of honey mead. So
Mhm.
what would that be? That would be 8 gallons. How big is 8 gallons? Ah, the questions I ask. 8 gallons. 36 liters.
Eh,
It's quite a lot.
So
I'd say that's like a big barrel
yeah.
worth of booze.
So I would say that you've got excess. If you want a keg, you can like have a keg and make 3 gold profit if you've sold the rest of your honey mead.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure, I'll do that. 3 gold plus one big old keg of honey mead.
Yep.
This is
And
great.
if you ever need to know the volume, it's 2
One big
gallons.
important question though. How feasible is it for me to take this with me, and how if I can take with me how much? I suppose I could have like my
I'm fine with you taking the portable amount of honey mead with you. What is 4 gallons?
let's see.
4 gallons
I suppose
would be 8.
I'm gonna bring up my player's handbook here. If I could have if I could request that I get like a secondary water skin to carry this in, because I believe that's like 1 silver worth.
Yeah.
A water skin.
So does water skin have a volume in this game? It's probably.
I believe.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it has some
Water
volume.
skin.
It does have a volume.
Oh, I listed
I just don't
specific
know where
Water
it is.
skin.
Oh,
Come on,
container
look.
capacity. Water skin. 4 pints for a
4
water
pints.
skin.
Yeah, so 4 pints
Mhm.
of honey mead. There you go.
Okay, so I have that keg, get 3 gold, and then I have 4 pints of honey made with me on my travels for when I need it the most, which will be all the time. Thank you.
Okie dokes.
We're gonna survive these travels.
Cool.
Eat honey.
So that's everyone's downtime. So I think we'll start this off in the Last Hope. Last Hope, so called because it's the last stop for good mead, good wine, good ale before you go any further west. I mean, anything you drink west from here is just
Before death.
And the Last Hope is this big wooden tavern with a stone-lined fire pit in the center of it. There's this wiry old man who's the barkeep, who's moving around, picking up cups from last night. And you can see a couple of fellows, like, kind of thuggish-looking types, big broad shoulders, hunched brows with knitted hair in their back. And they're wearing, like, these big black capes and leather armor, and they have crossbows on the table. One of them's like passed out, dribbling slightly, and the other's like throwing dice with his friend. And atop the behind the tavern, there behind the bar, there's like this warg's head mounted on a plaque, and it's like this wolf, but bigger and more ferocious. The fur's like all wrong, and its like face is all like scarred and twisted. So, who do we find sitting in the Last Hope at the beginning of this session?
I would
Well, I
be
believe
less
I'm
hope.
behind the bar, cleaning an ale glass as I'm finishing my last shift for before adventure time.
You could be cleaning my ale glass, I guess.
I suppose that is possible. I'm striking up a fairly friendly conversation with Warlyko /
Rakust.
Rakust. Rakust, hey, that's a good name. And I'm cleaning the
Thank
glass. That's it. It's
Ah,
important to
thank
note that he's straight, even though I personally am not. It's like the thing that I don't want to. I want to have my characters split into different personalities so that my psychosis doesn't take over. It's important to take that into consideration.
All right.
Should we go on?
Yeah, let's.
Sure.
So we would be
Now
at the
let's
tavern.
just stop there. Dead silence.
Stop the
Rakusta
stream.
is just
it's
getting
cast.
his glass cleaned, and he looks over, he sees your eyes. And then silence reigns across the tavern. Sorry, carry on.
This was all player conversation, not character conversation. I was cleaning the glass.
Oh, in which case, so who's got a mission to go on? Who has looked at the tree and spoken to folk and has something to venture forth on? Who is the mighty
Well, it
leader
was-
that is going to unite this band?
It was me that suggested the bandits. So maybe, yeah, you're all in the, like, as you said, you're cleaning his glass, and I come up next to next to the group and say, "So, I'm looking for some people. I've heard tell that lots of people are having to leave their farms in the nearby neighborhood, so to speak, because of these bandits. It's
Well, that's
becoming a problem."
unacceptable.
I know it's not.
We
I
have
mean,
to take care of these bandits.
exactly. I mean, there are lots of jobs on the board. I've been looking, rich folk looking for their own, further their gains. But this Carlo fella, he sounds like a right dick, and I want to set him right. I'm looking for some folk that are brave enough to come with me and sort him out. Well, are you the group that I'm going to be going with? He looks expectant.
Yeah, we're going.
I
I'll
haven't been out in
join you
several
on that.
weeks.
Will we be paid for this? Because I need money.
Yeah, I've like got one of the copies of the thing. And look, there's even a bounty on Carlo's head, so we won't be doing it in vain. It's
Do you want
a pretty
to
penny,
read
actually.
the bounty?
Aye, look, now I'd say, Carlo, now apparently he's wanted alive, which does make things tricky, but if we do that, we're going to get 100 Imperials, which, that's a pretty sum. If we kill him, though, we'll only get 25, so, well, we'll try to do it alive, because it's going to be worth it, and apparently he's got like a
Oh, leave it
sidekick,
to me, lad.
something called Olaf, he's worth 25 as well, and 2 gold for all the other henchmen, so I reckon it's going to be worth our time, boys.
Are these all wanted alive, or is only
No,
the main man
only
wanted?
Carlo's wanted alive. The rest dead.
Aye. Well, you just leave the head bashing to me, and I'll RKO him into the floorboards. See how he likes that.
Aye.
Right.
Is,
Also, who's this warlock fella? And I point at
yeah.
Carson, who's standing in the corner menacingly, grabbing his cock, presumably.
Because that's funny. We're all like short folk. Because you're both dwarfs and I'm a halfling. What are you, Carlo? Are you a tiefling?
I'm human, but I'm like 6'4". I don't know
Yeah.
why.
You're really
Plus-
good.
He's tall. He's tall. He's thin.
No, 6.2. Sorry. I'm pretty tall anyway. I look over at you expectantly, see that you pay attention to me. Have you heard about the Death Eye?
Oh Jesus Christ! You're a tall fella.
Hello.
Have you heard about Lady Lyra, the Lady of Joy?
No, I don't, and I don't care. Would you like to hear about Igishaf, the Great Death Eye?
Oh Lord, right. Look, guys,
God
I'm a
of
paladin,
knowledge.
and no, I'm a paladin, and I don't care for gods. So just
Don't
keep
care
it to
for God.
yourself.
But we can change that.
I don't think you can, my friend.
You haven't heard my story.
I think if I hear your story, I'll definitely not want to follow this strange
Well,
line.
if you're joining us on this adventure, you'll have the time to tell us on the roads.
Oh, shite, don't tell him that. All right. Oh, sure.
Good.
Well, you can tell us on the way, my friend.
Good idea.
Anyway, it's not very far.
Yeah.
Apparently, the thing says Fort Glitterwatch is only 1 day northeast of Haven.
Sorry, I didn't listen. What are we doing?
Oh, sorry. Yes, my friend, we're looking for, I guess, us three are looking for another fella to join us to find this Carlo fella. And I hand you the bounty. Look, it's worth your time.
By the way, mate.
Perhaps you should open your ears before you open your mouth. There
By
you
the way,
go.
mates.
That's a sick burn.
I've
I
heard
don't
this.
think you heard. It's a death god.
Oh, well,
You
I will explain your problem, son.
yes, sure will.
Anyway,
By the way, mates, there's been rumor around that Duke von Enristoff has hired a band of mercenaries to bring Carlo. What should we do about that?
And as you say this, you see
we
the,
should
the barkeep,
politely.
you see the barkeep like look over, and he's obviously been hearing your conversation, and he makes eye contact with Brother Lauren, and he just nods at the 3 dudes sat at the far table.
Have
And
they
then, like,
noticed
looks very
our
busy.
conversation? Have the 3
They
dudes
don't
noticed?
seem
All
to
right,
have heard
I look in the
conversation.
direction he's not. He pointed to like the 3 dudes who are those the guys who were like sleeping?
Yeah,
on the table
there's,
and
there's
all
like
that?
one guy who's like passed out, and there's 2 guys who are just playing dice. They're all similarly attired. There are crossbows on the tables. They've got big black capes, and they're wearing leather armor. And they're just like slouched in the corner. And every now and again, they'll toss some dice. One of them will swear, and then they look around, and then they swear again, and then they play some dice.
The patterns are very strange. I'll say if we go now, we'll have the head start on them. We'll clean the job up before they even have the chance to get off their tables.
But we can help each other.
You know, that doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Well,
But if we hire their help, we don't know these people. for that matter, I don't really know you, but I know that you're player characters, and I trust them a lot more than NPCs. So, well,
Well, thanks. Humbly.
they have capes, man. They have capes.
But
Clearly, they're dangerous.
listen, there are more people that can listen to my tale of the Deatheye.
But we'll have to split the rewards in two, and right now, I'll need more gold if I'm gonna make my tavern dream one that comes true. The Last Hope is great, and I shoot my boss a like a thumbs up.
He looks over
Ah,
and like
Drew.
scowls a bit.
But you know we have to diversify here.
I'll
so-
scold, but you'll have to listen to my tale.
Look, don't
I
worry
will
about the
tell
tale.
You
we're
tell
worried
your
about
tale
Carlo.
while we're walking to the destination,
Yes.
because last time I was on an adventure. We spent so much time jacking off and hunting tentacle monsters that we didn't get to the destination. And I don't make the same mistake twice.
Oh, I
That's
know
a
some
lesson.
things with
Like,
I'm
tentacles.
with you there, my friend.
That's a lesson for life, and that's a lesson for tavern goers. You hear that? And I shout to the patrons, that's a lesson for all of you. Anyway,
The
No,
two
Hunter
people who
Hunter.
are playing dice look up, stare at you for a bit, then look back down to their dice.
Anyway,
See,
the place isn't far
100%.
away. What we should do is we should go there stealthily and stake out the place for a night, just to watch it from afar but safely, and then we'll get more information that way. That way, if those fellas do come to try and claim the reward, then we just mop up what because they'll fail because they're not as good as us. You know what I mean? So we let them fail, see how they fail, and then move in ourselves.
But then they'll die.
that does sound somewhat
Possibly.
underhanded. I would rather we just politely ask them to leave.
What? Ask Carlo to leave or the mercenaries?
The mercenaries. Clearly, we came here first.
Maybe we should talk with whoever's in charge of. Maybe the Duke himself.
Well,
Or,
Well, he hired them.
No.
They're not going to go away.
that's why I suggested talking to the Duke instead of talking to the mercenaries. Surely going up in the chain of command.
but we just do it before they do it,
Yeah, I
and then
know,
they're
we-
like, "Yeah, we came here first," and then they can't do nothing about it.
We'll talk to the
I already
Duke.
told you we have
when we've
to-
got Carlo's head or him in chains.
Very well. So
But
Let's see, manacles. How much do they cost?
2 gold.
2 gold?
Yeah.
I should probably get one of those.
Yeah,
I heard through the
always
general
have
store and
have
buy
a
some
pair of
manacles for
as,
2 gold pieces.
Standard kit.
By
It's
the
too
way-
cheap.
You go into
Too
the
decent.
general store, Jowdy's there, you get the description of Jowdy again, and you buy some manacles. He
Yes!
sells you a very
cool.
good looking pair. They're perfect, nice and shiny.
Awesome.
Right, no one
Cost
talk
me
to this
2
fella.
gold.
He'll literally sell you anything. No, don't buy anything from him. Trust me, he'll sell you a crappy cart. He'll
As
come with
you
a
as
contract.
you walk in, Brother Lauren, Jowdy, who's a big man, about 6'4", big muscled arms, wearing this black leather doublet torn off the arms, he goes, "Oh yeah, I've heard you've been brewing something. I've got this finest wood you would ever seen. It is from the burnt remains of the Devil's Tree, and I think it would age your ale perfectly. I can sell you a barrel made of the stuff for 10 gold.
just 10 gold.
I
Hey,
would
no,
like
I
to
don't-
That's
insight
what you
check to
did.
see if he's full of shit or full of good deals. So, can I do that? Can I insight
go
check
for
him to see? Yeah, okay, cool. Wow.
Sleight of hand.
Oh,
I'll
that's
take
a
the
sleight of
roll.
hand.
That's a
Yeah,
two. What's
let's-
your insight
yeah.
bonus?
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, no, I don't know. Well, unfortunately, I don't have enough money for that. So,
Neither do I.
Oh, he smiles at
Can
you and
buy
goes,
it.
"Oh, don't worry. When these start getting bought up, they'll be more expensive, but I understand." And he waves you away. And you return to the tavern with manacles, continuing the conversation.
By the way,
okay, cool.
do any of us know folks of the criminal kind?
What, do you know what?
I give him a
Do we have
very
criminal
bad
contacts?
look.
Like a feature that's criminal contacts that gives us
No.
contact.
Well, no, I'm
Uh-huh.
a good fella. Although I do technically have the criminal background.
We have-
I'm a spy.
We have 2 paladins, and this is the question you decide to ask.
We can ask if they know these folks that we are supposed to capture, and maybe set up a meeting, and then everything will go smooth.
Set up a meeting. We don't want them to know that we're...
But we
No!
can ambush them. It's like
We need to ambush them. We don't need to let them know that we're coming. That's a terrible plan, my
but
friend.
it can be like a meeting of like deal of hardcore drugs. I don't know. Some
We have nothing they would want except for this honey meat. And I lift up my cask, which is in my personal belongings locker, which I've
Perfect.
claimed.
We trade a cask of honey mead, and then we'll kill them horribly. No, capture one of them, kill the rest of them
I
horribly.
think they might do the opposite.
Well-
They might just try and take the honey meat and all our gold, and maybe our lives.
I don't think you understand the type of person you're dealing with. These are bandits. They take what they want. They don't negotiate.
Yeah, but have you
They're not
heard
lawful.
about honor?
I'm not
among
even
thieves?
fucking lawful. I'm chaotic as heck.
But-
You don't know what I'm gonna do next. And I know what they're gonna do, though.
If
They're gonna
we
slice us to
contact
death. Unless we do it to them first.
If we contact a bandit that knows these bandits, maybe they are friendly to other bandits. I don't know how this works. I have never committed a criminal act in my life.
I know you don't know how it
You
works.
see, this is exactly...
coming apart.
Why are you suggesting things about criminals when you know nothing about them yourself?
I just want everything.
Let me tell you something. I've been a god for the good past decade. And I'm gonna tell you something. The criminals don't fucking care.
Well,
I don't want to talk to you
Isn't
anymore.
that like a little
wanna
jealous
move.
of you? Alright. That's...
You're walking in circles and I'm trying to walk in a straight line. Now you follow me or you walk around by yourself. I'm going. And I point to Robin and Ragnar. I don't
Wait,
forget
let's
his
leave
name.
quickly before this madman talks any more
Ragnar.
about strange eye.
Mad. I have never.
Okay.
It's starting to feel
so-
like it's
so-
bad gibbering this tall fella.
It sounds like you're all getting antsy to get a move on. Do you want to talk to anyone else before you leave town? Do you want to like hit up the manor and talk to the Duke or his seneschal, or talk to the militia commander who's been having trouble with them, or are you just gonna like book it and find your way to the fort by yourselves? Apparently, it's like pretty close, so you probably should be pretty fine, easy to
Yeah, you
find.
said before. So,
Yeah, I vote we go before we get trouble.
Yeah.
We go
I
immediately.
wish to ask them because maybe they know there's like how they operate.
They're bad.
Well, no,
Because
that's
you
the
got them.
idea. We stake out the place for a
Well-
night. We camp nearby, but where they can't find us.
Yeah,
And
that's the deal. This
And-
is this
Or
is
maybe
a
we just
vote.
ask the people that already know.
they don't know though. We'll get first-hand
I
information
don't
by
get
watching.
why you people don't want to cooperate, folks. I don't get it.
So I
'Cause you're a
think
cop-
this conversation is like happening as you're walking out the tavern and towards the edge of town, and like Carson slowly is just like going why, and maybe you see like this one guy who's like nodding his head, and Carson recognizes him as one of his followers, and you're all like, who's that dude? And he like scurries away. Okay,
I clap him on the shoulder.
so we're gonna need a navigator and a scout, and I'm assuming by what you're saying that you want to travel using stealth. So you should all decide that. But 1st we're gonna take a break, and we're gonna come back in 5 minutes, however long you need. But we're gonna break the segment here. So awkward silence for a moment.
I'm gonna grab a glass of water, eh?
Yeah.